I'm getting better at clicking that button right when we go live. So, hello everybody. Welcome to another episode of Back Talk with Bauer. I am Josh of J Bauer Art, the host of this mess I call a show. And don't worry, it's not Tuesday night. Don't freak out. It is Saturday. If you're watching this in the in the East Coast, it's 10 a.m. If you're watching in the UK, it is 3 p.m. So welcome to everybody that is watching in the UK. I am having a fun time with keeping track of times today, so it shall be very fun. But this is technically a bonus episode through the Facebook page, but it's going to be episode 28 when it comes out onto the YouTube channel and the audio versions. I booked 2 episodes for this Saturday or for today to kind of give myself some time off the first 2 weeks of November. Josh has overbooked himself in October and he's going to need a break. So yeah, and my wife is yelling at me because I'm doing too much again. So, but yeah, welcome to a brand new episode. I hope everybody enjoys it. If you are watching this for the first time, either on Facebook, you can find it on Facebook. You can find it on YouTube on the HWWS WebTV YouTube channel or their Facebook page in the Facebook watch links. You can also catch this on any of the your favorite podcast apps like Google, Apple, Amazon Music, Spotify, Stitcher, and more. If I am not on your favorite podcast app, please let me know and I will get on there as quickly as possible. You can also follow me on all the good stuff. If you type in J Bauer Art, you can follow the show, the artwork, the graphic design stuff. If you are looking for some awesome gifts to give for the holidays, I know they're right around the corner. Josh, it's only Halloween. I don't care. Head over to jbowerartshop.com or jbowerart.com. You can find all these paintings behind me up there for sale and tons more. There's prints, paintings, stickers, all kinds of good stuff. And I'm trying to get to the live video real quick as I am talking, and I am not good at multitasking, so sue me. But yeah, so, and then what else? What haven't I plugged? Oh, and then you can purchase t-shirts and a couple other awesome things over at the Threadless site. Just type in J Bauer Art and you'll be able to find it there. And we have amazing sponsors as always. The one, the only, Kingdom of Comics is a proud sponsor of Back Talk with Bauer. You can find them at facebook.com/Kingdom of Comics Shop. They are in Melbourne, Florida at 4320 South Babcock Street. Jason and Paula, the owners of Kingdom of Comics, have been big supporters of mine for a long time, and now they are official sponsors of Back Talk with Bauer till the end of the year. So a big shout out to them. If you're in Florida, please head over there and check out all the amazing things they have. If you are not in Florida, you can order online. Just head over to the Facebook page, send them a message, let them know what you're looking for. They can either find it in the shop or they can order it for you. So please check that out. Every Tuesday, they have new comics arrive. So keep an eye out on that. And you can get new comics. They're an authorized CGC dealer. They've got toys, graphic novels, rare collectibles, pops, statues, back issues, and so much more. They even have a bar. They have a bar in the comic shop that you can go and sit at, grab a beer, and read some comics. If you go on Fridays, you can get half off any beer with the purchase of a trade paperback or graphic novel. Also, make sure to check out the drinks to go deals. And you can find all that at facebook.com/Kingdom of Comics Shop. And make sure you put the 2 S's in there, because if not, it doesn't work. So yeah, the reason we are doing a special for us in Florida and for the East Coast people in the United States, the reason we are doing such an early morning Saturday show is because my guest is actually in the UK. It is 3 p.m. his time. So you guys know I love, kind of the reason I created the show. Excuse me. Is because I love talking to creative people and I love talking to fellow artists. The awesome Terry MacGyver actually pointed this guy out to me a few weeks back, and I love his style of work. I love his artwork. So let's introduce the one, the only, Nick Chambers. Hello, sir. How are you?
Hey, Josh. You okay?
Good, good, good. So thank you so much for taking time out of the middle of your day because it's 3 p.m. over at your time. But I greatly appreciate you taking time out to sit down and chat with me for the next hour or so.
No problem. Pleasure to be here.
Awesome. So my first question is, where in the UK are you?
I'm in Wales.
Wales. Okay. I know that one.
So, right at the west. It's a kind of a little country of its own.
Gotcha, gotcha.
Very hilly and green here. There's not a lot really, apart from fields.
Gotcha.
It's
And
good.
you've all born and raised there, or did you move around a bit, or?
No, anyone in the UK will know by my accent that I don't come from Wales, because there's a very distinct accent. But I was actually born here. I moved over to England, moved around because of my dad's job. And then after university, my mum came back here because this is where her roots are.
Okay.
So I came to stay with her for a little bit. I met my partner and we ended up buying a house and having kids. So
nice.
Yeah, I'm here now. Cool. Yeah.
So we'll show off your artwork and a little bit later in the episode. So if you guys, we get to that point and we're talking about stuff we're seeing on the screen, either find me on Facebook or YouTube, then you can see all the pretty things if you're only listening to the audio version. But if you want to see any of Nick Chambers' art while we're talking, you can type in Nick Chambers art on Facebook, Instagram, and he also has an Etsy shop. The Etsy shop is what we'll be showing off a little bit later. But when did you start messing with artwork? Was it when you were a kid, a little bit older? How did that come to be?
I've always done it, as long as I can remember. I can remember entering a competition when I was maybe about 5 for one of the newspapers.
Oh,
I came within like the top 10 for my age category or something.
Wow.
And I won an umbrella.
You won a what?
My parents were dead chuffed. That's kind of one of my earliest memories, really.
Oh, okay.
And I've just been drawing ever since.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Now, your style is really cool. And as soon as Terry showed me it, I fell in love with it. Was that how you originally started out, or has it evolved into this as of now?
It has evolved into it.
Okay.
Obviously, when I first started, I did the same thing everyone does. I observed kind of real life and I tried to make it as realistic as possible. And, you know, there's just kind of like certain gratification then with getting your art to look real.
Right.
But as I've got older and I've kind of discovered the whole other world of art, style and abstraction became more of a thing, you know? So kind of then simplifying it down, focusing on the character. Yeah, that kind of started happening around, I guess, college time.
Okay. And this style that you do, like the way you call it, I believe is Stix, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I really like the name. It definitely fits. I love the style. Whoever did the logo for it, was it you or did you have somebody else do it? Because it's awesome.
Yeah, I did the logo. Yeah.
Very cool.
I've got a graphic designer friend, Ross.
Okay.
Who I had on Messenger, and I was like winging things over to him and he was giving me the thumbs up or down. So yeah.
That's fantastic. Yeah, I really like it. I always like when people's logos fit their art style. It just, because sometimes it's like a miss and you're going like, why are you using that logo? It's not really, you know, but it definitely fits. And so how long you said since college, how long's that been now?
God, 15 years.
Okay. Trying not to make you feel old, but I like to know how long people have been doing their specific style and how it's grown over the years. It's always cool because even a year time span, somebody can totally change up a style or get way better at it or something in just a year. So when you add in the years to it, you know, you'd be amazed from the start to the finish of how much your style has changed.
Oh yeah, definitely. When I was at uni, I was focused on doing children's books.
Oh, okay.
That was kind of where I saw myself going. Kind of like the narrative I've always told myself is my first love was film. I wanted to be a filmmaker when I was a kid. I was good at drawing. I kind of saw children's books as condensed films in my own head.
Okay.
So I went to university to try and do children's books. It didn't work out. Big time, it didn't work out. So I ended up kind of working a normal job. I was a care worker for 7 years.
Wow.
I kind of thought the art had gone, you know. I was just doodling in my spare time.
Okay.
I had a bit of an issue with work.
Okay.
So I spontaneously gave up my job
oh, wow.
in the middle of lockdown.
Okay.
And I said, to my partner, I'm going to write a book.
Wow. So this stuff has just been happening recently then?
Yeah, like 3 or 4 months.
Wow. And how is it, you know, we're jumping ahead a little bit, but how's it been going? Because everybody's stuff that's gone down with COVID and everything, everybody's story's been a little different, but sometimes good things happen from all this crap. So how's it been going with, you know, focusing more on it and getting doing a children's book?
Yeah. I was going to write the book, and
right.
I kind of forgot about COVID. It wasn't important to me at that time. The important thing was I couldn't be in my job anymore,
right?
For reasons let's not get into. But you know, we had a little bit of money backed up. I thought, you know, I can. You know, the kids were young as well. You know, so it was important for me to be at home because they're both under 2.
Okay.
And Robin, my youngest, she was still very new at the time, so it was kind of like I can be at home, I can look after the kids, I can help out, I can try and do something creative until I have to get a job. Okay. So I was trying to write. While I was writing, I was also just doodling on my iPad. Mm-hmm. So, and I started putting them on my Instagram account, and they were so quick because I was literally keeping one eye on the kids and one eye on my iPad. Mm-hmm. And I was getting such great response for it. People started asking if they could buy prints. Oh, awesome. So then I was like, okay, right, what do I do now? I still didn't really kind of believe it would go anywhere that much, you know? Right. But so I started sourcing printers, and I put a few testers online, and it just took off. And, you know, COVID, you know, this is going to sound crazy, but it's kind of been the best thing that's happened to me. Like, that has been okay. So this podcast started because of COVID. Right. I went from we talked a little bit at the before we went live. You know, I was super busy doing live paintings and stuff before COVID, going out and doing events and kind of just banging my head against the wall with the art stuff. Yeah. And then COVID came in and took out everything from me, and I went from a jam-packed month to just nothing. So I'm like, all right, well, I can't go out and play. I don't want to do more artwork because I was already having trouble because I've been doing the artwork for 7 years and it just hasn't been selling. So I'm like, all right, let's put the artwork in the back on the shelf for now, and let's focus on graphic design stuff and starting this podcast. And the podcast was just like shits and giggles, you know, just kind of a good way for me because I've been doing conventions for years now. I know a bunch of different creative people. So I figured, I can, you know, start talking to people, try to help them get out to at least a few new people and stuff. Yeah. So as I've been doing this, myself included, a lot of people have said, yeah, COVID has really messed up quite a bit of things, but it's also made some really cool things happen. So you know, and you feel bad. I know, and a lot of other people say you feel bad going, well, COVID kind of helps me out, but you know, it's one of those things where it's like, you're given it's the bad thing. You're given lemons and you make lemonade out of it. You know, we've all gotten shit on royally, and now we're making the best out of it. And some people have really been able to make the best out of it and kind of had time to look into that dream or the stuff that they're really into and try to make it a thing because they have no other choice. Yeah, definitely. And I've got to say, my partner has been amazing. She has just totally supported me 110%. Nice. And without her there as well, I don't think I would have taken that leap, you know? Oh, yeah. That's the other thing people don't realize, especially in the art side. You know, if the artist is married, the artist's partner does just as much or puts up with even more stuff because their partner is an artist and they're sitting in a room or sitting somewhere off, you know, working. And, you know, they either have to go, like my wife went to events with me and helped to move around boxes, set up things and carry stuff. So, yeah, not just the artist in a couple works. It's both of them. And if you have a very cool what's the word I'm looking for? A partner that helps out a lot, it makes life a lot easier. Yeah, definitely. And just putting up with me, putting up with the fact exactly. Half the time I'm going, yeah, that's great, love, but because I'm doing something,
Yeah, or you're either thinking of doing something, because if you're, you know, the artist's mind is always just going. Like I'll zone out. We'll be out somewhere, and I'll see something, or something catches my mind or my eye, and I'll start zoning out. And my wife's like, "Have you even been paying attention the last 20 minutes?" I'm like, nope.
Yeah.
She's like, "What the hell did you see this time?" I'm like, "Oh, this over here. I thought it'd be really cool if we did this, and then." She goes, "Can you turn it off at all?" Because, you know, my wife's been putting up with this for we've been together almost 15 years now.
Oh, right. So she knows.
Yeah, she knows. She's experienced it all. So she's just like, yeah. But every once in a while, she's like, "Could you turn it off, like just for an hour?" I'm like, "I will do my best."
Yeah, I'll try. I will try. We've even got a code word for it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because once the baby was in this thing called the jumperoo. You know what one of those is? You put the kid in and they
and they get bounce around. Yeah.
Well, Robin was in that, and Joy was talking to me, and I have no idea what she was saying. And she was like, "Did you hear what I just said?" And I was like, "Yeah, jumperoo." It made no sense. So now, whenever she's talking and I haven't actually been listening, I will go, "Jumperoo." Sorry.
That's fantastic.
Yeah. She puts up with a lot.
Yeah. Shout out to all the artist partners out there. We love you and we are sorry. So when you got back into doing, or got more into doing the art, and especially your style that you're doing now, was it automatic? Because from the stuff that I've seen and kind of flipped through, was it automatically movies and pop culture stuff? Did you jump right into that?
Yeah, and that was kind of like the big turning point for me as well, because, you know, I said that I wanted to do children's book. I was always like so focused on doing the children's book because I saw that as a career. And I didn't really see kind of what I'm doing now as a career. I didn't allow myself to see that, if that makes sense.
Right.
Until other people like showed interest in it. But, you know, when I combine those two things, the pop culture, which is especially movies, which I love, that is my big passion. You know, I was just doing what I wanted to do, you know, and people were interested then. No one was interested when I was trying to do children's books. I started doing Pulp Fiction or Bill and Ted,
right?
And I did it in kind of like my sketchy style,
right?
People wanted to know. So, yeah,
that's fantastic. Quick shout out to GW Pomichter, the leader of the HWWS WebTV YouTube channel. Good to see you, sir. Thank you for popping in. So yeah, now if you remember, what were some of the first pop culture pieces that you got into?
What, when I was a kid?
Well, no, like when you started doing more of like this as a business and getting into, like, when it started kicking off, I guess.
I guess some of the first ones that really took off was the Pulp Fiction piece.
Okay.
You know, when you've got Jules and Vincent and they both stood there with the guns.
Oh yeah.
I did them as stick figures and I put them up, and I just got an amazing response from that.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, so I just kind of started doing whatever came into my head, to be honest. And
oh yeah,
the beautiful thing about pop culture is there's so much of it.
Oh yeah.
You can just, you know, it just comes to you sometimes, doesn't it? When I'm sat there and I start scribbling, a pop culture reference will come out quite naturally.
Right.
I find if I try too hard to do something, it's not as good, you know?
Yeah, when you actually try to do something, it turns to whatever the hell it is. And then when you're just like, I've had a lot of stuff like hit more when I'm just screwing around. I sketch something out, throw some paint on it, and call it a day. And people are like, this is amazing. But then when I go and spend 20, 30 hours on a piece that I'm really into and bring it out, they're like, that's all right.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah, I know the struggles on that. So what are some of like because you do I've seen tons of stuff. And I think I've only scratched the surface of some of your stuff because it seems like you have a ton. What are some of your favorite pop culture things? Like, you know, comics, movies, you know, what's some of your top faves?
Movies, definitely.
Okay.
Horror films. I'm quite aware of the comic world.
Okay.
I've got a few graphic novels back there. Well, more than a few, but I'm not kind of like a collector or anything like that.
Right.
I don't know. I just seem to absorb pop culture, like the visual world of it.
Yeah.
Almost regurgitate it in stick man form.
Yeah, and your style is really interesting, and I don't want to, because like there's certain things that we do, and I hate when people go, "Oh, well, that looks simple to do." Yours does. I know yours is not simple, because it's, you know, you got to get everything just right. Because even doing your sketch, your stick figure type, you still have to have the colors right, some of the look right, to get that kind of feel for, you know, when somebody looks at it, goes, oh, it's, you know, the Punisher, oh, it's this. So how long does a piece usually take for you?
It really can depend. Sometimes it takes a minute, you know, other times it can take but I did Night Bed Before Christmas piece yesterday, but that was like a full painting.
I love that. That looks fantastic, man.
Thank you. So that took maybe 4 hours. I'll go by films. It took me 2.5 films to paint that.
There you go. There you go.
But a lot of the stick figures happen quite naturally. You know, I'll get up a bunch of reference images. I'll pay close attention to the body language and the gesture. Right. Because that seems to be key. You know, that and color, I think, are really underrated. Gesture and color are probably two of the biggest elements of my work, I'd say. And to some degree lighting, but because I use kind of like quite flat tones now, like flat block colors, and just getting the right kind of shade of light on one side of the face or something, that will just make it pop a bit more. Do you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, yeah.
So
do you use, when you're drawing, do you use paper pencil? Are you digital? How's that work?
Digital, all digital.
Okay.
Yeah. I trained paper and pencil and acrylic paints and oils and all that. I mean, when I first started drawing, you know, there was no such thing as Photoshop. There was no such thing as a tablet. So I was a painter for years and years and years, up until maybe my late 20s. Okay. And then I got, you know, one of those kind of like tablets where you have to draw on it, but you have to keep your eye on the screen. I got used to that. And then, you know, I got one of those whack-on ones where it was the screen, and it just kind of like graduated all the time. Oh, yeah. Until now I'm on an iPad, and it's, you know, the best thing I've ever had, you know.
That is my next step for, I'm hoping next month I will have the money together. I'm gonna start switching over to digital, because I love painting on canvas. It's great. It looks awesome. You know, I can mess around with it a much, but I'm tired of getting stuck with canvases. I have these here. I have another 2 walls full of them. I have a tower standing up. Yeah, and it's hard to get rid of the originals, because, you know, you want to sell them for so much. Yeah, you actually get what, you know, your work is worth out of it. But either people don't have the space or blah, 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 excuses. So I have decided now that, and then also try to get because right now I use my computer to do all the graphic design stuff, make the logos and everything. So I think I can take it up to the next notch with being able to draw directly onto a screen and do some vector logos and drawings and take it even farther.
You'll love it, man. You'll love it.
I can't wait. I've been saving up since the beginning, well, since COVID hit, when I started doing more of the graphic design stuff. I've been saving up. I'm like, it's time.
And if you're already kind of adept at drawing and stuff, which you are, as soon as you have the screen and the pencil in your hand, it's going to feel so natural for you, you know?
Yeah, the only thing I have had trouble, because I had a Wacom tablet for a while, and then it kind of got out of date and wasn't working on my computer anymore. That's why I'm switching over. The only thing that I can't get my mind wrapped around is because it's more when you're painting, you get that feel of the brush on the canvas. Yeah. And it's just this weird thing that like helps me create more. I can't explain it. It's really weird.
I know exactly what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah. So when I go to a digital version, it's just, you know, you don't get that pull or that feel. So that's going to be my learning curve right there, is just getting used to not having those texture feels anymore.
It won't take long, man. And you can get like screen covers, and they've got kind of paper grain on them as well. So there will be that kind of look. Yeah.
I'll have to look into that. I did not know that.
Yeah, I don't use it myself, but you can get it, and it kind of gives the pencil that bit more grip or bounce, whatever you're after.
Yeah, I might. It might be a good way to start off to at least transition over into that, and then eventually pull it away and just do the tablet itself. But no, that's awesome. Thank you. I did not realize that they make everything for anything anymore. Yeah. You just got to find the right Google.
Yeah. I know they're on Amazon.
Okay, definitely.
Yeah. But it's funny because you're talking about going to digital. I'm at a point where I'm considering going back.
Oh, really? Why is that?
Yeah. It's something that I've been thinking about for the past month or so now. It's just having the space and the time, man. Because there's something so tactile and nice about the canvases, you know?
Right.
You know, it's a one-off. You know it's made by hand. People do that as well, you know? That's why everyone loves limited editions, isn't it? Because they're special. And that's one of the reasons why I do them, because, you know, I could do a Stickman and I could churn out 1 million copies of it through the printer, but it loses something then, I think, anyway.
Right.
And I think just because it's done digitally, I don't think it should be able to lose that kind of special quality that have, you know? So that's kind of big part of the reason why I just limited everything to 25 when I started.
Okay, so, yeah. So you have a limited run of whatever print, and then once it's done, it's done.
That's it, yeah.
I like that. I've been thinking about getting into that for some of the pieces that I haven't made prints of. And see, now where I run into problems is because I was hitting the comic book convention for like 6 or 7 years. Nobody had money for the originals. Like everybody loved them, but there was either no money or no room for them. So like I'm going the other way. It's like, okay, well, if they don't want the originals but love the style, I can at least make some prints and then do a limited number of those and hopefully, you know, sell those.
Yeah. And, you know, you can sell 25 prints and make as much money as you would by selling the original. And, you know, that's a good thing. Because I do commissions as well. And sometimes I spend so long on a commission, and it's like if I had just done it prints, if I'd done 25, I would have made more money.
Yeah.
So, I don't know, like that's coming down to like the hard line business side of it there. I love doing commissions. I'll happily take on commissions.
Yeah, there's always as an artist, you're the guy, like as the artist, you're the guy that wants to just create things, hopefully make some money out of it, but like really breaking down well, I can make this much if I do this or make this much. It's like you almost need somebody else in that side.
Yeah.
Because it's annoying. It gets tedious. It's like, okay, I charged you this much, and then you go and do it and go, oh, dude, I should have charged you like 100 more. Yeah,
I know. I spent 4 days on this.
Yeah. I'm even learning that because like the graphic design stuff, I've just gotten into video editing. So I'm making like the intro that you saw at the beginning of the show. I created that. Yeah. So I'm learning. Some of it's really easy, and then I'll charge like I've gotten a few of them, and I'm like, okay, I'll charge this much. And then I've done some other people's ones, and it was a lot more work than I thought, but I charged the original price. I'm like, oh God. So I'm like, oh, go ahead.
You can never tell, can you? Well,
no, you know? No. There's some stuff that looks super easy, and then it's a freaking nightmare. And then there's stuff that looks like it's going to be a nightmare. I actually just finished a logo in a few hours that I had no idea how I was going to do. I finished it in one night, and the guy loved it. And I'm like, okay. And I got paid like that. So like on that one, if you go by hours, technically I made more money than usual because I did less hours. But then if I go, because I usually charge the same price for a logo. So if I go to this next person and their logo is more complicated and I spend more hours, technically I'm making less money an hour and maybe hurting myself because it took more time. It's a nightmare.
Yeah, I kind of look at it like it evens out.
Yeah. And just to let everybody know, I know we got like a few people watching in here. If you have any questions for Nick or for an artist in general or anything like that, please drop them in the comments. I'm keeping an eye on both, so let me know if you have any awesome questions for us. But so I've been talking about Comic Cons a bunch. I'm figuring since you kind of started this more when COVID hit, did you ever go to conventions as an artist or?
No, I've never been to a Comic Con. So
never been to one at all?
Never been to one, no.
Well, so you're in Wales. So is there any in your area?
Yeah, there's a big one in Cardiff, and they have a smaller one in Swansea, and you know, London's not really that far.
Okay.
That is in my sights to go to some Comic Cons as an artist and get some work out there, you know.
Yeah, I'll have to bring you back on once you do like your first year of Comic Cons, because I'd love to see it's interesting to go to Comic Cons as an artist because you go to some and you're everybody's favorite artist. They're like, oh my God, they buy all your stuff and it goes really well. And then you go to other Comic Cons and nobody can give an F about you.
Yeah.
And I have been to a plethora of all of them. I will say it would be interesting to see what it's like in your area. Because in Florida, at the very least, before COVID hit, we would have like at least 1 to 2 going on every weekend for the past 4 or 5 years. Yeah, like they figured out that they could make money. So everybody and their brother decided to make one. So we're at least having, you know, every other weekend there's at least one. I mean, every time you turn around, and then there's some weekends there's 3 of them going on. And then you have your like big tent pole ones. And I think the problem that we were having, and I was talking to other artists in around our area, we were having so many of them that you didn't get that buildup of people getting excited for the big ones. So like one of our biggest ones, especially in Orlando, is MegaCon. So that's a 1 time a year one. So you would go a whole year without seeing your artist or anything. You would have a year to make new stuff, year to save up money, blah, blah, blah. So when you came to the next MegaCon, people had tons of money, tons of anticipation, and would go crazy. Well, now with all of the shows that we were doing, it's like, oh, well, they see you at every other show, or they've been to every other show, so they don't have that build up that money.
Yeah, yeah.
So
it was going out for a stroll almost.
Pretty much. That's what I was viewing, especially the last year or two. They were just going to escape from the real world. They can go and dress up, they can go and be goofy and walk around and have a place that they can see all the nerdy stuff and enjoy it. So yeah, that was another thing where COVID kind of helped, because it got me to stop trying and stop going and stop planning and just go, you're done. You don't have a choice. You're done. Figure something else out. And I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah. I mean, the whole Comic-Con thing's still quite a new phenomenon over here.
Oh, okay.
In the UK. I can't remember it being so popular when I was younger. No way. It only seems to have been in the past maybe 5 years.
Okay.
It seems to have really taken off. And there's still big ones, you know. It seems to be kind of, they happen at a city centre or, you know, and you'll have 4 or 5 throughout the summer. So that's probably why I've never been to one. Because I had other things going on during those 5 years. I'd love to go see one now.
Yeah, they are definitely, if you go to the big ones and the like the well put on ones, it's amazing. I've always loved it. I love going. The last year that I kind of was going, I was working with Hangin with Web Show and being there, like one of their on air talents. And then I would live paint at one of the times. And then the rest of the time I just got to mess around and go have fun. Yeah. And that was so nice because I got to get in there. I didn't have to pay to get in because I'm, you know, technically working. I'd work my couple hours here and there. And then my wife and I could walk around. And when you're not having to worry about your booth making money and getting all that money back that you put in, I'm like, it's really nice. I went and met some people. I started doing a mini canvas collection. I'd paint my own little mini canvases about this big of different characters and get them signed by the voice actors and stuff. So yeah, I was having a lot of fun. But yeah, and then there was even part of it where you just do it so long it kind of gets you burned out. But I think whenever we're able to go back to it, we'll have a long enough break where I'm kind of like, I could go back and have some fun and cause some trouble. Well, now I have this show now, and I could bring the show in, and we've created this network in our area. So we're going to go in as like giant shows and basically do our spots of our shows and try to get in people and do random things. So yeah, we're just itching to go back whenever it's safe.
Yeah. I know, that sounds cool.
Oh yeah. Yeah. So we've been chatting a while. Said we were going to bring them on. So let me bring up your website. Thanks to StreamYard for letting me be able to do this awesome stuff. Let me see if I can. Where's the other? Now my fun thing is I work on one screen, so I have to like kind of watch you and work the screen at the same time. So this gets really fun. Hold on, I gotta make this smaller. So what is how do they find you on Etsy while I argue with this computer?
You can just search for Nick Chambers Art, all one word.
Perfect.
To be honest, I usually just put link in bio on my Instagram and Facebook, and people seem to navigate them themselves.
Perfect. So I love your top images here. We've got the Punisher, Indiana Jones, Taxi. Yeah,
Taxi Driver.
Ah, yes. That's how you know you're doing something right, because I've never seen Taxi Driver, never watched the movie.
Oh wow.
But I know of it enough. It's, one of those pop culture references, been in a bunch of different things. So you did it so well, and you have the colors and everything works perfectly, and have just enough in there that a person that's never seen it can still at least guess, oh, that's Taxi Driver. And then we've got Aliens, another one I've never watched.
Whoa.
But the character in it. I don't like horror movies, like Aliens. I like Predator a little bit.
Yeah.
But Aliens always creeped me out when I was younger, so I never got into them. But yeah, here's your newest piece. This is I love this one.
Yeah, everyone wanted Nightmare Before Christmas.
Oh man,
a while ago. So I did one. I put it up, and I actually then lost the file, so I had to redo it.
Oh jeez.
Yeah,
but I can't zoom in. I apologize because it opens it in a different link. So hopefully you guys can see. But this will make you go into his actual website and go see everything.
Yeah.
But so yeah, you lost the original file and had to redo the whole thing? I
did. I didn't redo the same image. Because that's just frustrating then. So I kind of turned it around a bit, made it something else. But yeah, I think that really nice. I was pleased with that one.
Oh yeah, that's fantastic. We've got let's see, the shirts are kind of hard to see, but we got Bill and Ted, of course.
Yeah.
There's your Pulp Fiction one.
Yeah.
Okay, so this one's the one you're wearing with the surfboard. I have not been able to figure that out.
Hey. That's Joker on.
Oh, okay. From
the surfed up Batman.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. That's awesome. Oh, I may have to snag that one.
Cool, man. That's great things about the shirts is in the States as well. They're made in the States because they're using a demand company, so you don't have to spend a fortune on shipping.
Very cool. Very cool. Yeah, I was just wondering how much it would be with because I'm thinking it's over in the UK and everything. But you got Spider-Man. Let's see. Oh, I really like this Bill and Ted with the Grim Reaper behind them.
Yeah.
And it's just you're back. I know somebody that would love the Back to the Future one.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite ones.
Oh yeah, that's fantastic. That iconic scene. It's I love it. And you do have I saw your Avengers one. That looked great.
Oh, thank you.
Your style is just so cool. I have to say, the crazy thing is yours works with backgrounds and with no backgrounds, because you're looking at Pulp Fiction and Forrest Gump, and they look really cool and they have no background, but you still know what they are. But then you come down here and look at Darth Vader, and it's like, holy crap.
Yeah.
That is fantastic, man. And you just got, and he's a stick figure, but he still looks like a badass.
Yeah. Thanks.
That is really cool.
That's the next level up, the backgrounds, where you put the background in, and that's where the color and the light comes into play then. That's and you make it cinematic
right.
It's just how you light the figure, I guess.
Oh, have you done a Bruce Lee one yet?
I have done a Bruce Lee one. It's not on here, but he's in his classic yellow jumpsuit.
You, if you remember, after we're done with the show, please send me an image of it because I'm a huge Bruce Lee fan, and I think it'd be really. Do you still have prints of that one, or?
I do, yeah.
Okay, I may have to snag that one from you because I love Bruce Lee, and I was automatically thinking him in the yellow suit in the stick figure view because that would be fantastic.
Oh,
Let's see what else we got here. I love the Jaws stuff. People in Florida that have like gone to Universal since they were a kid and stuff, they would probably really clamp on to this one here because this whole setup is in Universal Studios where the Jaws and everything used to be. Jaws is no longer there because they turned it into, I think that's what they turned into Harry Potter.
Oh, was it?
But the I believe the shark is still hanging up randomly somewhere. So this is like one of those things like everybody goes to and makes sure to take fun pictures with and everything. So I'm sure that'll be really popular with the Floridians.
Yeah, I did have a lady who bought one of those, saying a message that her husband proposed to her at that.
Oh, that's awesome!
Site in Florida.
See, I told you.
Yeah.
So is this a R2-D2 I don't know of, or a Joker R2-D2?
It's kind of a mashup between the Joker and R2-D2.
Nice.
Just a bit of fun.
I love it. And then you got the Batman Returns set. Have you done stickers of your stuff yet?
I haven't done stickers of my stuff yet. I looked into perhaps making them myself. Because I would say definitely look into stickers because I'm even thinking of like this would be cool to have a bunch of these on the back of like my iPad or back of something. Yeah. And your stuff looks like it would just fit in a sticker format. Yeah. I'm sure you could find somebody local to use that would save you money. But I use Sticker Wolf. They're actually right down the street from my shop here in Florida. But they're fantastic to work with and everything. I don't know how much shipping would be to get them to you, but I would definitely look into stickers because even getting like this Batman on something, I would love to put this on something and put it in my, I have a Kia Soul that's all done up with Batman stuff. Like the whole outside is Batman. Yeah. And this would be awesome to have a part of it on a sticker or something. Oh, amazing.
Yeah, you got RoboCop. Yeah, I definitely would because, man, and especially if you get, so like if you have the Boba Fett and you get just that nice little white line of like a little bit of white going out around him. So you still get like the sketch look, but it's like right to his size. Oh, yeah, it would be cool. But even like rectangles or, an oval or something, I think would look cool. But if you get them cut out right to the shape of the person, you have Dr. Ian Malcolm. I love it. Did you see everyone recreated this picture?
Sorry?
Did you see he just recreated this picture?
I did, yeah. Joy was saying I should do another one of him with the grey hair now.
Oh, that would be awesome. And then you could have and then if you flip them the other way, so they could be
you could have them tattooed, one on each shoulder.
Oh, there you go. There you go. And actually, like looking at your stuff, it would be even cool to get one of your pieces tattooed on. Like your style and your look just can go into so many different things and just looks perfect on it.
That's all, man.
But yeah, I love it. I'll be getting a few things from you soon. Gotta wait for payday and all that fun stuff. But yeah, if you guys want to get into any of this artwork, purchase anything, find Nick on Facebook, Instagram. It's Nick Chambers Art, and then you can find him on his Etsy shop, of course. And I'm arguing with my screen again. One of your people says hi. Les Street says hi.
Hi, Les. He's can I give a shout out to my 237 brethren?
There you go. There you go. Yeah, let me drop this down. There we go. But yeah, that is all of Nick's fantastic art. It's I'm loving it, man. Your stuff's doing great. I really think stickers would be your next best thing. The shirts are cool too. I'm gonna be getting one of those because I love sporting. I actually got this one just recently from T Fury. I don't know if you're a wrestling fan or not, but it's so I personally love it because it's character for CM Punk, and a wrestler that's no longer wrestling. But he gave this like long speech, and it's called the Pipe Bomb. And so the artist went and typed the entire speech out and then put his logo in the middle. And then it says CM Punk on the bottom. And so I've been trying to sport shirts from different creators. So I'll have to get one for you to put in the rotation. I just had my buddy Eric Pabone. He's been on a previous episode, and he does really cool stuff. And he took the original, or one of the original TMNT arcades that was like the Back in Time, or like the one that everybody played when they were a kid. Yeah. He recreated it in his style. So it's like this big arcade sitting on your chest with like a green shirt. I wore that. I think I wore that last episode. But yeah, I've been having a fun time wearing people's shirts to support them more. So what is? Oh, here's a good question for you. I always love this question for myself. What is to date? What is your most favorite piece you've worked on so far?
Wow. I like different things for different reasons.
Right.
Like the Darth Vader piece. I really love that for the kind of cinematic quality on it.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, the Back to the Future piece. I've been playing the guitar because it's just so simple, and it's so, it doesn't need to be anything else, you know?
Mm-mm.
You know, it says what it needs to. So perhaps Back to the Future, Forrest Gump, Pulp Fiction.
Yes.
Really simple ones.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, you're more of the ones without the backgrounds, except for Darth Vader.
Oh, the Taxi Driver one as well. The Taxi
What was
Driver.
that one? Oh, Taxi Driver. Yeah.
And the colors in that are just, and the simplicity of the taxi in the background, you know?
Yeah. It's kind of crazy how simple it looks, but your mind just goes, oh yeah, that's a taxi. It's crazy. I love that stuff. That's why I love, I'm always attracted to simple logos too when it comes to graphic design and stuff.
Yeah.
Like I just did one for somebody, and I don't usually, my logos are a bit more complex because people want more complex ones. That's like a little bit more of the trend now. But the guy he's like, oh, I just want to keep it simple because he's a wood craftsman, and he wanted to burn the logo into the wood. He's like, we got to keep it simple, so whatever you see on the screen, we can burn into the thing. I'm like, okay. And I went and did it, and it was, super simple. I'm like, man, this actually looks really good compared, and not that the other stuff looks bad, but sometimes just a simple, not full of craziness stuff looks the best. I
find I've been asked to do logos before, and it's totally not my forte, and I kind of really try to not do it. But every time I've been asked, people want really complicated things,
right?
And I don't really think that's what a consumer wants either. So, you design a logo for the audience, really. Mm-hmm. People just want something they recognize straight away. And that kind of complexity doesn't sometimes need to be there,
Right.
And like I was asked to do a peacock holding a shield with Viking runes on it. And I don't even know how I do that as a logo.
I don't even know how to accomplish what you want. I've really had to, like, sometimes you just have to break it down for people, and you even go in and you show, like, okay, what do you think about when you think about McDonald's? Just the M and the colors. FedEx, UPS. I mean, there's so many that are just very simple logos, and even like FedEx is simple. But there's a little complication in there because it has some hidden things in it. If you really look at it, there's like a hidden arrow and everything between the two letters. So you can make it simple, but add a little bit of clump, a little bit of craziness. But yeah, some people just want it like, I'm like, you don't want to just throw up on your logo and go, there it is. You don't need that.
It's like visual clutter then, isn't it?
And it'll lose what you're trying to get to people.
Yeah. I think there's got to be a certain amount of elegance to it to have that complex kind of concept conveyed simply in a visual form. I think that's the art, isn't it?
Yeah. So we talked about favorite piece. Now I know as an artist, there's always at least one piece. I hate getting asked least favorite or whatever, but most hard to create piece for you. I know there's always one, because mine, when anybody asks me, I did a painting of the Boondock Saints. I don't know if you've ever seen that movie.
Yeah.
So I did the Boondock Saints, and I did the pose where they have, it's the two brothers, and you got the like side profiles, and they got their guns leaning to their heads.
Yeah.
So I worked on that thing for months, and I was trying to do it full color, and they kept looking like monkeys. Like they didn't look human. They didn't look right.
Yeah.
So I almost put my fist through the painting. And my wife's like, my mom and my wife were like, just put it away, let it sit. So it sat for a few months. And then I finally like got a bug in my head, and I'm like, all right, I'm going to do it all black and white. I whited out the faces. My wife about lost her mind. Whited out the faces and went through and painted, did it all black and white. And then the background was color. But yeah, that is my most hated piece to date, because it took 6 months or more between trying to do it at first, the waiting, and finally finishing it. And it was just a nightmare.
Yeah. My hated pieces are... None of them are online.
Oh, so they don't even make it.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's the ones we never see. I like that.
The issue I've had with something that I hate, okay, is the transition between it being on a screen and it being printed.
Oh, okay.
Because there's a whole art that I've had to kind of like learn in a baptism of fire.
Yep.
That the screen looks bright and vibrant and beautiful because it's an actual light source.
Yep.
When you print it out, unless you kind of fiddle with it and do all sorts of technical things, it will come out looking muted and dull, and you don't get the same result. And there's printer profiles and CMYK versus RGB and all that kind of.
I work at a print shop, so it's mostly if we get like an actual picture, like a photograph picture, I'll forget, because when you get a photograph picture, you have to go into my printer and hit a profiles on thing. If you don't do that, it is just this muted, ugly thing, and it'll totally change colors, totally kill the picture. But as soon as you put the profiles on, it's like bright, vibrant, looks amazing. And I bang my head against the printer every time I forget to do it.
Yeah, just kind of like learning that stuff has been really quite challenging, because I'm not, I use an iPad and I use technology, but I'm not technically minded at all.
Okay.
I'm a scribbler. Yeah. And the t-shirts, I went through about, I spent a lot of money just getting samples back all the time, because I was sending them off and I was getting a sample come back, but I hadn't really sussed out the printing method yet. So the t-shirts were coming back dull and I wasn't very happy with them. So, but now I think I've got over that hurdle.
Good.
So
nice.
That's my most hated piece.
So we're right at the end of the last few minutes. Real quick, what's some of your future goals going forward? What are you trying to accomplish?
Well, I would like to start creating hand-done one-off pieces again.
Okay.
Something special, some the t-shirts I want to expand. I mean, that's where the whole kind of like Stix idea came from, because I had this idea of one stick man on each t-shirt, and I almost kind of saw it in my head as like the Funko Popper t-shirts, like you could have like an Indiana Jones wardrobe. You could have 20 t-shirts with 20 versions of Indiana Jones or the Indiana Jones characters on them.
I love it.
Yeah. So that is something I'm looking to explore, and I would like to hopefully look into kind of more of the business side of it again, with producing the t-shirts myself.
Okay. I would look into threadless.com. That's who I just started using.
Yeah.
And I haven't gotten any of my shirts in. I haven't ordered mine, but Eric Pabone, the t-shirt that I ordered from him, that's how I learned about them. And it's this is where it gets messed up with trying to do the profit thing. Like it may work better for you doing it yourself more, but maybe to get you started because they take a good cut. But it's kind of like I like it because I can toss my designs up there and then I never have to think about them again. Because I don't sell a ton. Like I make one online sale of art maybe once a month, you know. So for me, it works. I took a bunch of my old designs. I took some new designs, tossed them up there. If they sell, they sell. If they don't, they don't. But I don't have to worry about pre-ordering anything because I'm just coming out with the Back Talk with Bauer shirts, the first podcast shirt, and I did pre-orders. And it was a nightmare. I can't stand it because I'm like trying to get people. You only have 2 weeks. Message me. Let's get it done. But now they can be up, and I don't have to worry about it. If somebody wants a shirt, I send them a link. If they buy it, yay. If not, but I'd say keep that in an option, at least maybe starting, and then while you go and get the other stuff going, it might be a good way to start you out. Yeah,
that's what these are. They're not threadless, but they're a similar kind of concept.
Okay, gotcha.
But they connect to your Etsy shop. So
that's cool.
Yeah, so it cuts out the middleman almost.
Nice.
So it's kind of like I use Printify is what I use.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and so far so good with them. And that's what I mean. Kind of like people in the States can buy a shirt, and it's not going to cost them 20 quid for postage and packaging, which is what it might do if I was ended up producing them myself. So you know, but then if I go to a Comic-Con convention, I haven't got the shirts with me to sell, which, you know, ideally,
yeah, it just depends on where you get, you know, where more your shoppers come from, because you may have to end up doing both. So you save money on the United States side, but then you have stuff in the UK side as well. Yeah. And that's the fun thing about being us, is trying to figure out where all that lies and everything and where to go with that. But if you ever need, I don't know how much help I'll be, but if you ever need somebody to bounce ideas off, I'm around, and I love your stuff. So I'd love to see you succeed more and make it a big thing. So where, as we go into the future and getting to the end of the episode, where can everybody follow you, support you, and all that good stuff?
You can follow me on Facebook, which is simple, Nick Chambers Art. Instagram, Nick Chambers Art again. I think it's all one word on Instagram. Yep. And my Etsy shop is Nick Chambers Art. Yeah. So it's simple, really, Nick Chambers Art.
Perfect. Yeah. He was smart and kept it all the same, unlike I was when I first started and had a different name for everything. I learned that lesson a couple of years ago. So now that's why everything's J Bauer Art. So thank you so much, Nick, for popping in. I greatly appreciate it. If you guys are too don't feel like typing things in, you can find the link in the description of the video. And if you're watching on YouTube, his links will be at the bottom as well. And make sure to check out all my stuff on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. You can find it all at J Bauer Art. You can find the show at the HWWS WebTV YouTube channel or their Facebook page. Again, if you want to buy the art behind me, head over to jbowerartshop.com. If you need a video like you see at the beginning of mine, or some graphic design work, message me, hit me up. We will get you squared away. I'm taking all kinds of different commissions, and I add you to the list. So other than that, thank you guys so much for tuning in. I greatly appreciate it. Thank you again, Nick. And I will catch all you guys next week. Later.